able to giggle as much as I wanted. He took my hand and kissed it. You're even more beautiful than I thought. He took his dad's car and we continued our love.
What was I doing?
Then why, Trevor? Why did you walk out on me? Why?
I just didn't want to sleep with you. I provided business with we can build. I gather her life.
Story that weekend in his dad's resort. Just the two of us this time. Everything was perfect until Monday. Word of Courtney and I.
Put some pizza on a plate?
Wildfire. Thanks to
Yeah,
Danielle.
you can. I can do it.
Mad at me for leaving her behind.
Here's a mad jalapeno. That's all you get.
There was an awards event in the school's gym the next day, and Courtney was declared the best cheerleader. After delivering her speech, she suddenly called my name out and said, "I can't stop this feeling anymore, Lucas. Will you be my boyfriend?" Danielle shouted from the audience, "Girl, your desperation is hurting my toenails. Dream on." Courtney fought back. "At least I wasn't dumped by Lucas," Danielle replied. Yet. It was so awkward that I found myself running out of the gym as everyone laughed at Courtney. I skipped school for the next 2 days to avoid those girls and chose to hang out with Jeff as my real self. I was so happy when he agreed to watch a cheesy romantic movie with me. The movie ended, and as soon as the lights were back on, we were shocked to see who was sitting in front of us. Danielle's friends. They were about to turn around, but Jeff and I immediately buried my face in a bucket of popcorn while he pretended to sleep. Thank God they immediately left. That was close. Jeff and I continued our little dates, but my love-filled haze of happiness didn't last long.
What?
I was heading to school one day when Lucas showed up. The real Lucas. He was troubled and unhappy.
I guess, yeah.
He said he had no idea what I meant when I said I was unpopular. People were picking on him left, right, and center. I love our parents, sis, but I'm done with your life. I'm sorry. I would have agreed to switch back happily a few days ago, but now I wasn't sure. I didn't want to leave Jeff. On the other hand, I missed being a girl freely. I missed my parents too. What was I going to do? I told Lucas to give me some time and I went to school. Little did I know that this was the calm before the storm. That night, I got invited for a Zoom conference by Courtney. Out of curiosity, I clicked on it and was surprised to see the faces of everyone. Did I miss something? Alright,
I'm good right now.
are you all ready for our interesting lesson today? I didn't like where this was going. She started playing a slideshow presentation for everyone to see, and it was pictures of me and Jeff. Hundreds of them. Apparently, Courtney hadn't dealt well with my rejection. She was suspicious of me and Jeff, and without our knowledge, she had stalked us during the last few days. My world stopped when the pictures of me taking my wig off and teasing Jeff showed up.
How do you lose this? I don't understand.
My act was finally over, whether I liked it or not.
I don't like how the pen looks.
According to my research, Lucas's twin sister has been pretending to be here for the past few weeks, and she has had the nerve to kiss me.
You can eat your food right now, and I can take out the rubber bands, and you can sit there and take the hair out after.
I had to go back now.
You can do it while you're sitting there. Yeah, I should do it while she's sitting there. Sorry. I did it post you or something?
Jeff drove me to my real house, and I saw my parents
The braid did. I didn't do it.
tears in their eyes. Lucas wasn't dressed as a girl. What was happening? Mama? Papa? They immediately hugged me as soon as they heard my voice. Dad said, "Our bambina is back. Why didn't you tell us about the switching business?" I turned to Lucas, and while scratching his head, he told me, "Sorry, sis. Mama caught me in my underwear in the bathroom." Mom then started explaining. We were forced to give up Lucas for adoption because we didn't have enough money to take care of you both. We never thought we'd see Lucas again, and we're so happy that we got to meet him. Lucas told us that he wanted to be close to his family, so he'd made a plan. There was more than enough room in his mansion for all of us. He talked to his foster dad already, who was totally fine with it. My parents were so over the moon. I was so excited to have a sibling and leave my horrible school. And of course, now I could stay close to Jeff. Jeff said, "Oh, by the way, dude, Danielle's no longer your girlfriend." Lucas laughed. Great, I was wondering how I was going to break up with her. Seriously, those girls are the worst. The boys did a fist bump in front of me. Jeff then turned to me with a wink. "That's how it's done, babe." I just answered him with the girliest giggle ever. Amore mio.
We made too much whiskey. Don't get more barrels, DJ.
So tomorrow, I'm giving. You need to fill out for. I'll just do it tomorrow myself.
I can do it. Let me do it right now.
I'm gonna get done because my insurance after I did it was on the next
It
day.
started off as a dare.
So literally I'm going to bring that to her tomorrow. I have the thing right on the internet. I was able to click it and I have my numbers and everything. And bring it to her tomorrow. And I bet I'm gonna not be charged shit. Nothing, not $1.
But it was so loud that no one heard me. By the time
That will help me out a lot.
What if they don't take Medicaid?
The jet
They have to.
began to rumble. My heart sank.
They have to
We were
take
getting ready
Medicaid.
for takeoff. I
What?
suddenly regretted
They
this
have
whole
to.
idea.
You should have made sure first before you switched it over.
I didn't switch anything over.
Let me explain.
I don't want you to go and be like, oh, I have Medicaid now. But we don't take that.
Yeah, they do.
Special hangars from time to time. We carried luggage and packed the small aircrafts for a bit of money.
Yes,
Today,
they do.
he told us we
But
were
please
packing
don't
a
take
private jet
Medicaid.
that belonged to a millionaire. I've always dreamed about meeting a millionaire.
My program just started, the one in New Hampshire. My program in New Hampshire just started taking
Me
Medicaid.
to do it. I don't like backing down to a challenge,
I
so I climbed into
see
one
a
of the
couple people
millionaire's
going there and I
unlocked
have to pay
trunks and
shit.
hid in there. It was only meant to be for a minute, and then
Yeah, but that's because their specific insurance they took. Remember, they only took a certain ones. They were taking New Hampshire Healthy Families. I was one of the first people that I didn't have to pay once.
Nowhere to go. I calmed down, measured my
Answer
breathing,
it.
started counting in 1, 2, 3, out.
How you know it's Xfinity? Because they're like, we're gonna schedule a call. And that's how I know they have your number, not
I
mine.
passed out. I woke up in the dark, cramped trunk. My body was aching. My phone was in my pocket. I reached for it and found that it didn't have any signal. We traveled like this for what seemed like days. But when I checked my phone, 5 hours had passed. That was when I felt the jet touch down. I heard the luggage doors open. Then people were talking in a strange
What
language.
happened?
Soon they rolled the trunk down a ramp.
Just tell them customer service. You need to talk to someone.
My heart was racing. I knew that any moment they would open the trunk and find me there. But no.
Change of service.
I remember hearing an elevator and someone grunting when they tried to pick up the trunk. Some guy sat on my trunk and farted. It was terrible as the smell seeped in. I had to stifle a grunt of displeasure and hold my nerve. A few minutes later, I heard the sound of people stopped. I heard a door click shut. I waited a few minutes to make sure, then I pushed open the trunk to peek out. This time, it opened. I was in a hotel room, a very nice one. This was a penthouse suite filled with beautiful furniture, Persian rugs, and the most breathtaking view of the city. And lucky for me, the suite was empty. I walked around and looked out the windows and figured out by the language I was seeing that I was somewhere in France. I found the hotel's Wi-Fi password and logged in. I remembered that my parents would be looking for me soon, so I sent my parents a message. I told them I was going on vacation with my best friend's family, and they didn't mind. It was summer vacation, and they'd encouraged me to get away for a bit. I called my best friend. He couldn't believe my story. He begged me to tell
I
him
don't. Bertha, I had service with you guys in New Hampshire.
my best friend's brother was
And I had
also telling
unlimited, and I was
I was
only
going to need another plan, and I needed it fast. As a kid, I was always great at playing hide and seek. I knew how to be quiet and steer clear of people. So far, my hiding skills had worked. With a bit of planning, I thought I could keep hiding and have a nice little holiday in the process. I decided to try this out. What did I have to lose?
It was just
Now that I
like
was in the
that.
suite, there was no need to get back into the trunk. I found all hiding places in each room.
Oh,
and was always
good
ready
to
just in case
know.
the door opened. I ordered myself room service and charged it to the room. I ate quickly and hid the evidence. I hoped that no one would notice the extra billings. I went through the millionaire's luggage, trying to find out who she was. It was definitely a woman. She had a good fashion sense, but a weird obsession with sweets. Half of her luggage was filled with gummy bears, licorice, and other exotic candy. I wasn't proud of it.
I'm asking to review the order. What phone number or email address would you like to use to continue this process?
603-252-1229. A rubber band in my food. Oh, I just dropped shit to drink.
Not to spend it, but to have as a backup plan to get home. If this blew up in my face,
And I think you have my daughter's email, Angel White.
At 9 p.m. that night, the door opened and the millionaire came back. I couldn't believe my eyes. She was a fashion designer. I remember seeing her in different magazines. Fashion wasn't my thing.
Okay.
This lady stood out. She was eccentric and colorful. She was also known for being impatient and even had a temper when it came to answering silly questions.
Alright, no, I just need to go to the thing.
Even ridiculous outfits. Tonight she was so exhausted that she literally flopped onto her bed and started snoring. I'm sure she wasn't going to get up. I fell asleep in the far corner of the next room. The knock on the door the next morning woke me up. I heard the millionaire fashion designer speaking to someone from the hotel. She was telling them that she didn't know what they were talking about. She didn't order any room service. She sounded irritated. My heart started beating faster. The door closed, and she started getting ready for the day. I realized I was going to have to be more careful from now on. I spent the morning watching TV and reading the documents that she'd left behind from her meetings the day before. I also found her diary and looked at her schedule. I saw that this would be her final
Oh, you want
day in the
another? Let me
city.
get you a
For the
toast
next
here.
month, she would be visiting 15 countries around the world. Part of me was excited by the idea of all this travel, but another part of me cringed. It meant a lot of time hiding out in the trunk. The silver lining was that with her busy schedule, I may get a chance to see cities I never dreamed of visiting. Now I just needed a way of affording this holiday. It didn't take me long to think of an idea. My best friend back home, you believe me, was obsessed with auctioning stuff online. I was sure this fashion designer had raving fans from around the world who would pay good money for her belongings. I went online and found recent photos of her. I matched what I saw in the photos to what I found in her wardrobe. Rainbow-colored stilettos, a blouse that reminded me of a blue marshmallow, and a scarf that looked like an electrified boa constrictor. I contacted my best friend. Within an hour, he had created an online auction for these items. I hoped it would work, and within 2 hours, I couldn't believe what was happening. People from around the world were making huge bids for these items. I didn't feel great about stealing from her, but I knew that right now, I didn't have many choices. We sold the stilettos to someone in India an hour later. My friend wired me some of the money. I snuck out of the hotel, making sure that I had a spare room card with me. I found a company that packaged the shoes and shipped them out to the lucky bid winner. While I was out, I bought myself new clothes and saw different parts of the city. I knew my host would be out until 7 p.m. that night, so I arrived back at the hotel with plenty of time to spare. Over the next few days, the millionaire followed her schedule like clockwork. She may have been eccentric in the way she dressed, but she was seriously organized. We traveled to a new city. The trip was much shorter and my time in the trunk was easier. I wasn't so stressed out this time. I opened the trunk in a new hotel suite. It was just as luxurious. Lucky for me, just as empty. Days passed like this. I snuck out, saw a bit of the city, and got back before the millionaire arrived home. We traveled through 5 famous cities in this way. I was getting used to this routine. Well, I was, until the millionaire decided to do something that wasn't in her diary. On a Saturday afternoon, I listened from the closet as she changed her plans. She was going to have a party in her suite, and it was going to start in 30 minutes. I had nowhere to go. I was stuck in this closet. I listened as people flooded into the suite, bringing food, music, and entertainment. The party began. I listened from the closet. It sounded like people were having a good time. I would have fallen asleep like this if I didn't hear the closet door opening. I held my breath. It was the millionaire. She was trying to hang up her coat, but she kept missing the hook inside the door. She giggled as she did this. She was behaving very differently to the way she normally did in her world. She was much more relaxed. I tried to make myself as small as possible, but the coat kept falling. It landed on me. She reached for it and squealed when she touched my hair. I tried not to move, but I couldn't help it. She pulled the coat off me, seeing me in the corner of this tiny closet. I knew that it was over now. My mind raced with what would happen next. Would she send me to jail once she found out I had stolen her items? I was about to apologize to her, to tell her that I was sorry for hiding out and selling her things, when she interrupted me. My dear, what are you doing in the closet? She said to me. Don't be shy. Guests need to mingle. She helped me out of the closet and welcomed me to the party. She told me that there were better places to hide if I didn't want to speak to people, like the balcony because of its view of the city. I noticed the glass of wine in her hand and I felt relieved. The alcohol was making her a lot friendlier, even to someone she found in the closet. There must have been 100 people there. I don't think she knew more than 5 of the guests, and she thought that I was one of them. I spent most of the night talking to the millionaire fashion designer. It turns out she was a pretty cool person. We actually had a few things in common. In fact, we were both from the same small town, the home that she grew up in. She told me how boring most of these parties were.
but I'm
She
just
was
saying, we
really
might have to
enjoying
get
this one
doctors,
for a
but we
change.
don't have
We
anything
spoke
wrong
about
with
what she planned next in
I
her
don't have
life,
to get
how she
shitty.
had become so
I mean, I'll probably have to do
successful.
some of
We
that,
danced
so.
and laughed and had an amazing time. I met some very interesting people at this party. I also ate a lot of candy, and eventually I fell asleep on the couch. It felt great not having to hide for the first time in almost a month. I woke up the next morning on the couch. There was a cleaning crew tidying up the mess from the night before. Most of the guests had left. Some were still sleeping on the couches in the suite. The millionaire was dressed and getting ready to leave. She saw me and thanked me for the company last night. She told me that the next time she was home, she'd stop by and visit me. She called the reception, and a few minutes later, 5 men were carrying her luggage out of the room. They took everything, including my traveling trunk. I tried to keep cool and smile, but seeing them carrying out my travel trunk made me panic. I shouted for them to stop. The millionaire looked at me strangely. I smiled at her and told her that it looks like something that belonged to me. Then she stopped and turned back to me. She asked me if I had taken them.
It looks like if you, like if your parents
She
are
glanced
with
for a moment and
parents.
then shrugged. She said it was one of the reasons she didn't like
Oh, no.
parties. So many strangers would take little souvenirs home with them. They were her favorite pair of heels. She shook her head and gave me a goodbye wave. I waved back and watched her leave. Standing there in the middle of this empty hotel room, a knot was forming in my stomach. The knot was still there as I walked out of the hotel. I didn't need to sneak around anymore. I felt great about that. But at the same time, my holiday was officially over. The good news was that I wasn't
Oh, I can't remember.
at least on the same continent. I took 4 trains and 3 buses to get back. It took me another week of traveling. Eventually, I arrived. Standing outside my house, I realized how much I actually enjoyed all the traveling. My best friend was relieved to see me. He told me how much money we'd made from auctioning the millionaire stuff. I couldn't believe it. We were almost millionaires now, too. And I had an idea then. One that my best friend wrote. About a month later, my doorbell rang. It was the fashion...
You interface with the and now
After 75,000.
you wake them up too?
I couldn't believe it. She told me that she remembered me telling her where I lived. She invited me out to lunch. I'll be honest, it was kind of strange to be speaking to her again. Strange because I felt kind of guilty for everything I had done. But at the same time, it was fun. We really got along quite well. She told me about her recent trips and the new clothing line that she was launching. She brought up the rainbow stilettos again, telling me how hard it was to find a good pair of shoes. I tried not to look guilty, but I think it showed. The fashion designer told me about how traveling was becoming more and more of a pain because of all the luggage that she carried around with her. So many people were
We're gonna be home
always
anyhow.
giving
I
her
gotta-
things that she didn't want, but she
Haven't emailed me back. Your husband was cool.
gifts.
Hey,
And then I had
Jose.
the idea, a way that we could work together. My business idea was simple. I would take some of the items that she didn't need anymore and auction them online. She listened carefully and nodded. She liked the idea. All she asked was that some of the money be donated to her favorite charity.